Good morning and welcome to America's Home Cooking. This morning I'm making Kansas City sticky ribs. Alright, I've never used this recipe, so this will be a new one. Now, they said that you can use baby back ribs, work fine with this recipe, so there's no problem here. Now, I'm not grilling, so I'm going to be doing mine a little different because I'm going to be doing mine in the oven. Now, I've already cut baby back ribs here. Now, for the rub, this is what you're going to mix together in a bowl, which I've already done because I was listening to the news. Sorry. You're going to add 3 tablespoons of paprika. I used smoked paprika because I didn't have enough paprika. 2 tablespoons of packed brown sugar. 1 tablespoon of table salt. 1 tablespoon of pepper. You're also going to need 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And you're going to need, if you're going to do it outside, they also say you're going to need 2.5 to 3 pounds of a full rack of pork spare ribs. All right, and you're also going to need 2 cups of wood chips. Now, that's what they state. So I'm going to be reading the recipe for you who are grilling, and for those who are doing it at home, we're going to be doing it a little different. Okay. Did I use cayenne pepper? No, I did not put my cayenne pepper in yet. I gotta put in 1/4 of a teaspoon of cayenne. How did I miss that one? Cayenne, where did I put it? Oh, I gotta put in my cayenne. Here it is. You want how much? 1/4 of a teaspoon, okay. There, I forgot to add that one in. Now you're mixing all of this up, and what we're going to do is we are going to rub these ribs down, okay? They want them patted dry, and they want you to rub them down. If I have any left over, I can always use it another day, so I'm not concerned. Now this is going to be sitting for a while, so we'll have some saran wrap on them. Make sure both sides is thoroughly coated. As you can see, we coated it very nice. Now we're going to cover them with saran wrap. Now, this is going to have to sit for about an hour if you're not cooking it today, but you can also wrap it in saran wrap and leave it for 24 hours before you grill it. So this is something that you can make partially ahead of time. Now I'm going to cover mine up with saran wrap, and we're going to put this to the side, okay? And I'll be back. Okay, you're going to need a large saucepan, and you need an onion. And we're going to have to chop this onion fine. Leave the root end intact, so when you slice them, they'll be more uniform. But you do need a tablespoon of oil into, I wouldn't use olive oil, I'm using, you can use any oil. I'm using safflower oil because it's mild. We're going to be making the sauce while those ribs are actually, let's say, resting. So seasonings are flavoring. Remember, try to keep your ends at this end intact. And try to get them uniform. This way they won't fall apart where you're trying to cut them. While it's held together, you can actually see they're more uniform. Now, your end pieces are a little long, so they like you to cut this in half going this way, but only go so far and then stop, because they're all held together right now. Okay, now they're ready to chop, and they'll all come out nice and level. Take this little piece and you put it into your compost. But you'll see all your pieces. Let me see if I can bring them up for you. Yeah, some of them have to come apart. But can you see how more uniform they are? Now I'm showing you actually how professionals do it to help you. I have my own way of doing it, but you know, when you're teaching. I can honestly be honest with you, that is, when my husband died, I forgot how to cook. I was so distraught after such a long battle. So I understand when you lose someone, the things that you love just seem to fall apart. You can't think because the world is around them. Some people run away. I met one woman, she said, I sold everything and moved here. And I said, and she said, don't make the mistake that I made. You go back to your home where you and your husband have your life. And your memories are there. Don't do what I did. I sold everything and left, and I don't have anything but my memories in my head. I look around and I have nothing. I remembered her words. I came home. And she hated herself for it. She said, I didn't have anybody to tell me, but I'm telling you. Just make sure you don't cut your hands. Look who's talking. Didn't I just have 4 Band-Aids on my finger? Okay. Now what you're going to do, look, I have a lot of bottles here. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to get you over here and we'll be putting things down. You can see I've got a lot here. You'll see it as I go to put it in. We're going to heat this oil up. Whoa! Did not expect that to jump off. We are going to be sauteing these. The new terminology, which is stupid, they say, the Americans call it sweating, but we're sauteing. Actually, it's pre-cooking. It's not sweating the vegetables. It's actually, we're pre-cooking these onions. Well, this onion that we did. Where did I put it? Here it is. So as soon as this oil heats up nicely, I didn't believe that sparked off like that. That was unusual for me. Once this heats up, we're going to put the onion in it, and we're going to put a pinch of salt over the onion, and we're going to be sauteing them. All the way down the garlic. Okay. It's going to be over medium heat, so we have to wait. They say until it shimmers, you'll see like a heat like this over the oil, then you know it's at the point where it has to be. So what you're seeing here popping is some oil, some water. But you'll see the shimmering. When you heat your oil up, just look close and it just looks like the heat is doing that and the oil is doing that. You're going to put a pinch of salt all over. If your pan gets too hot, turn it down if it gets too hot for you. You don't want to burn these, you just want to saute these. Let me see if I can get you higher and not knock you over, which I'm prone to do. I'm going to get this on this side so I don't knock you any harder than I have to. See, they're pre-cooking already. You should be able to see them. All right, these onions are soft. You see how they changed color? You're gonna add they want 4 cups of chicken stock. I'm adding in 1 cup of bone broth and 3 cups of vegetable stock. And the bone broth was beef, so it's gonna have a beef flavor. All right, we're going to start adding a whole bunch of things to this now. They want 1 cup of root beer. Yeah, I had to go out and buy root beer. I got 1 little can. They want 1 cup. Try to pour it so it doesn't foam so you can get an actual reading on it. I have not had root beer since I was a teenager. And when we had it, it was real sugar and not corn syrup and all real flavorings. I'll be dang. That little can was exactly 8 ounces. That was nice. My 1 cup of root beer that I never buy. You need 1 cup of cider vinegar, which is apple cider vinegar. There's the apple cider vinegar. You need 1 cup of dark corn syrup. Well, this is going to take a while. Just waiting for it to come out. I'm going to turn you upside down. I'll add you into the new bottle. Come on. Go on straight. Put you upside down. That'll work. We'll open a new one. You know, there was a time we didn't have to worry about people opening bottles and stuff in the stores or anything else. I remember when it happened. I'm old enough to remember how things were. So if you ever really want to know history, you don't have to read it. You just have to talk to the older people, different people, and you'll get a history of it. But now they lock everybody up who's old, trying to wipe out the history so they can sit there and rewrite it. So that's 1 cup of dark corn syrup. No wonder these things are going to be sticky with the root beer in this. Do you know how many cans I had to read before I found one that didn't have too much in it? Man, I went through a whole lot. A 1/2 cup of light molasses. Okay. 1/2 cup of molasses. A 1/2 cup of tomato paste. Don't worry, there's more coming into it still. I need a spoon for this. Okay. Half a cup of ketchup. Half a cup of ketchup. Two tablespoons of brown mustard. I don't have any more brown mustard, so I'm going to use this one. And I know brown mustard is just a little hotter than this. So, because I make both of them, so I pretty much know they're made the same. One tablespoon of hot sauce. A 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. this up. We're going to turn it down to simmer. I'm just making sure everything's mixed like the tomato paste. That's what I'm actually doing right now. But I understand why this is going to be sticky, because you got corn syrup and what else? The beer, root beer in it. Okay, we're going to bring this to a boil, and then we're going to simmer it for about an hour or so, because we want to cook it down to about 4 cups, which is pretty much just about reduced by half. So that's pretty much it. Except putting everything away. This is pretty much it, except for the smoked flavoring that we're going to be adding into it, and the meat is sitting, and this sauce is going to cook down, and we'll just let it keep on cooking. It said it should take about an hour, hour and a half to bring it down to where it has to be. And then for those of you who will be grilling, I will read the grilling off to you, because I'm not going to be doing it that way, and you will have it all set for you. So please listen if you're grilling. If you're a man and you're going to make this. I've never heard of a woman grilling. I always hear men grill. This is why I'll read it to you guys. No matter how many times I made the sauce or did something, if it was going out on the grill, my brother-in-laws or my husband would do it. Even when I go to my girlfriend's parties, she sits there, the men grill. One time, 2 women were, and they said, "Is this done? Are you sure this is done?" "I'm not sure if this is done. Is this done?" I just let them do what they were doing. They didn't know what they were doing. Well, we have to wait for this. There's nothing I can do. We just have to wait now. down, and we're just going to let it simmer. Do not put a lid on it because we have to reduce it. Or just let it cook. It has a nice smell. I'm not going to lie to you. It really smells nice. Okay, so that's it for a good hour. And let's see if I can get you back here. You do not know how much stuff I had on the counter. That's why I moved you over there. Okay, so I'll see you then when we're done with the sauce. We'll get the meat started, and I'll see that in part 2.